What up, what up, what up, Beauty and the Beat Radio. We got another jam-packed show for you. Hi, Karl.
What up?
I have the godfather, the originator, the architect of urban wear fashion.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that. Sounds good.
You've been doing this for a long time, Karl. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, everything's good. You know, just celebrate our 25th anniversary last year, so looking forward to a lot of big things for 2015 for the company.
For the company?
Yeah.
What are your company goals for 2015?
We just want to keep moving. You know what I mean? I think that we've been able to dress the whole generation of kids for the last 25 years, and now our main focus is addressing the new young generation. So that's where all eyes on the new young generation, as we feel that that's where the business is going. And 90s is back.
That's what we were talking about. Like the 90s is like gonna come back. Everything kind of that I've been seeing, even with music, with pictures, editorial, it's kind of like they want to wear the door knockers. They're bringing 90s back, and I think that it's a really good time for you when you come in and you see your brand. It's like, hey, I fit right into this already. Like, I've been here, I've done that already. So do you feel like as you're rebranding yourself, you're capturing a new audience as well? A lot of people are like, is this new? Like, you feel like a lot of people feel like you're a new designer? And
yeah, a little bit of that, but I feel like it's happened organically. I think the kids nowadays, they do the research. They see the images of Biggie and Tupac and Aaliyah rocking, you know, the Karl Kani, and like they didn't grow up, you know, hearing these people's music, but they know, they see the fashion they wear. So by them doing their research and realize that 90s fashion and music is back, you know, we ran the 90s. Karl Kani's the originator of urban street fashion. So if they're gonna go retro, they're gonna go to us. And the funny thing about it is, like, you know, when people say 25 years, it's like we're officially vintage now.
You're officially vintage.
Yeah,
and I like the word vintage.
Yeah.
It's like it makes it feel just like it's
Collector's items.
a collector's items. You know how you have music and it says it's a classic?
Yeah.
I feel like your clothes are a classic.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. And I feel like, you know, the iconic pictures that we have, especially of Tupac in our clothing, says a lot to the young generation, because, you know, these guys had so many choices of what brands they could have worn back in the days, but they all chose to wear Karl Kani. So we not only did that, we opened the doors up with so many other young designers who want to go out there and do their things. A lot of times, you know, people need to see somebody that looks like them, that talks like them, achieves something, and they can feel, well, man, if he could do it, I could do it too. So I felt like, you know, that was a good thing for our company, and we feel good to the fact that we opened the doors up for so many people to go in this business and start their own situations as well. And
that speaks to your name, Can I? You could do it, I could do it, and things like that. Because Can I came from that motto, kind of like, can I do this? Even when you started, I think that was one of the things that you challenged yourself with when you were thinking about going into it. Because you start, like a lot of people, when they are design, they may do this, or like a lot of musicians now, they start a clothing line after they do this. You originated starting doing a clothing, like a brand, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, my whole thing when I got started in clothing was, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, in the city, we realized how much fashion set you apart from everybody else. Like, you came outside, you had whack clothes on, you get snapped on, you get dissed, you couldn't hang with the cool dudes. So my father used to get his clothes tailor-made, so I kind of saw that you could kind of buy fabric and have an idea and bring it to a tailor, and he could make the clothes for you. So as me and my friends were trying to outdress each other, we used to shop and never told each other where we shopped at, because we didn't want anybody wearing the same thing. So
you wouldn't tell even your best friend?
Nah,
like,
I can't give up those secrets. It ain't gonna happen.
So you never were twins, and you were just set apart all the time?
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, well, there's a few times we shopped at the same stores and we come out with the same outfits. So trying to avoid that, I started making my own clothes. I went to my father's tailor and made me an outfit. But I got so much attention from wearing that. People were like, oh, where'd you get that from? So instead of telling them, I used to make clothes for dudes in the projects. That's what kind of got me started. I wasn't really trying to be a fashion designer or anything like that. I was really just trying to make clothes, make some hustle money.
Okay.
So one thing kind of led to another. It was just right.
What was your first item that you made then? If that's the case, what was your first thing that you said, okay, I'm going to make that for you? What did you make? It
was a linen, two-piece linen suit, a linen jean jacket and pant. Because back then we were wearing a lot of jean suits, but we couldn't find it in linen. So I made it in linen, and I made the size fit us the way we wanted to fit. So it was like perfect timing. And hip-hop needed a face in terms of fashion. And Karl Kani, we were that look that hip-hop artists wanted to wear, the ensembles they wanted to put on themselves. We was that first look that generated success in hip hop community.
So when we think of like first and all of that, and we just recently mentioned Tupac's name, right now it's Grammy week. It's a really fun time for LA right now. We got the Grammys coming this coming weekend, and I know Monday they had the opening of the Tupac exhibit at the Grammy Museum, and you were really one of the first persons to really put an imaging concept together for Tupac, as well as put him in national ad campaigns with your brand. How did that come about? How did you, like, how did that come together? Because a lot of people haven't got to work with Tupac.
It was real crazy. Like, you know, Tupac was wearing a lot of Karl Kani even before I met him, you know, and like I really wanted to meet him. So he happened to be in LA one time at the Hotel Nico, and
shout out to Nico who's in the building.
And my man AZ, he made a connection with Slim, one of Tupac's dudes. So we met, and the meeting was real funny, man. It was a classic meeting with Tupac. We go to the room, and Tupac was there, and he's typing a script to a movie, and he's on his laptop typing a script to a movie, and smoking blunt after blunt. But at the same time, we're having a really intelligent conversation. Right, because he was a really intelligent guy. Dude, and he was multitasking. He was smoking a blunt, typing a script to the movie, and talking to me at the same time. But he never looked up at me. We're talking. He's vibing. We're talking. And the only time he stopped talking was when I asked him one question. I said, "Yo, Pop, how much did you charge to do an ad for me?" Right. And he stopped typing, and the room just got quiet. I was like, "Damn, I said something wrong. I don't know what's going on, right?" So he's like, "Yo, man, I'm not gonna charge you to do no ad. You black." He says, "Man, you my people's, man. This is love right here. I'm not gonna charge you to do that." I was like, "So," he says, "Nah." He says, "Actually, I want one thing." I said, "What?" He says, "I want you to put Thug Life in some of the ads of me." I was like, "That's it?" He says, "That's it." Passed the blunt around. Music started turning on. The room service guy came in to bring room service. He was smoked out. Had to put a towel over his face to bring food in. So it was like a classic meeting. After that, we just, you know, our friendship just started building from there.
Have you seen the museum? Did you get to check out any of the pictures from that night?
Not yet, but I'm definitely going to check it out.
It's a lot of his writings. I think even one of the scripts that you may have been talking that was optioned, they even have like a lot of his writings. They have a lot of videos. It's more focused on his writing versus like pictures, because I was looking for a picture. Remember I was telling you, I was like, so then I just went for a press tour. That's why I really didn't even. I was like, okay, I see no pictures of Karl Kani, but it wasn't really focused on that. It was more about his writings and literature. But I know you have a lot of pictures and things like that. We actually have a video, because for our listeners, I want them to kind of see. Is it okay if we show them some of your lineup? Pull some pictures from the site. Beauty and the Beat Radio. What's up? We back with Beauty and the Beat Radio with Mr. Karl Kani. So we just got into and seen a little bit of looks from your new line and the brand, and I know that with your relaunch domestically, because you have a huge market, people that they may not know internationally, from Japan, Sweden, Germany. You have your line is, you have like what, 8 to 12 flagship stores?
We have 10 flagship stores in Japan, throughout Japan and Tokyo. Yeah, and we're distributed in 25 foreign countries. Germany, Switzerland, and Amsterdam is probably being the biggest markets for our company right now. Yeah. And
so domestically, I know you just recently had a launch at Wild Style. There's collaboration. As soon as you put the clothes in there, they sold out completely. It's like nothing left.
Yeah, it happened really quick too. It's like, you know, we went to Wild Style. The owner, he's a Japanese guy named Tom. He's totally down with hip hop.
I think we just saw him in that picture. Your pose, okay?
Me and him
Mustard.
And Mustard. We did a great event there, launch party, had DJ Mustard on the 1s and 2s, and
Mustard on our beat out.
And the crowd was amazing. Had people lined up around the corner to get in. So we brought back that whole energy that what we had from back in the day. So big ups to Wild Style for believing in what we're trying to do and bringing hip hop back, original hip hop brands back. So we felt like out of any retail, that would be the best place for us to launch our brand here in the USA market. Sure.
So who's currently, I know you're working with some current artists right now. I saw a really nice SB Stunts is all over Instagram wearing. I was like, whoa, I didn't see that red outfit, and I thought I got a preview of the line, but everything I saw was something I hadn't seen. So who are you working with now? I saw Fabulous just shooting something in your line. Who are you working with currently, artist-wise? Migos?
Well, we got a great relationship with the Migos right now. You know, they've been rocking in love. You know, those guys are very fashion forward. You know, we connected, and they get the look what we're trying to do right now. So it kind of fits well for both companies. And you know, it's really cool. The other day, you know, my son goes to school with P Diddy's kid, and You know, Christian had the stuff on the other night, the Super Bowl. Which
Oh
really
wow! And they had a big Super Bowl situation.
Yeah, they had really big Super Bowl things going on. So I feel like the young hip hop generation is gravitating to what we're trying to do, and you know they want what's real. So you think about '90s. If you're not in Kani, then you know what are you really going to wear? The '90s fashion is concerned.
You know what? Speaking of the '90s, I had a quote from Missy. Because did you watch the Super Bowl this weekend?
I did.
It was a good game, right?
Yeah.
Were you rooting for any particular team?
Seahawks.
I wanted them to win too. So, I know you're not thumbs down up in here.
Patriots.
No,
well, you know, we can't. It's over. It's done with. They cheated. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Never that.
No, that guy, the rookie, got a nice. He got a nice interception, and that did. Kudos to him. That was, for him being a rookie, that was a really good thing, saving or whatever. But Missy, did you see the halftime show?
Yes.
So Missy is one that I consider her an originator, especially for females in the music game or what have you. I think I've seen her in some Karl Kani before as well. Missy's rocked it. But one of these, she said, I think it's cool new kids think I'm a new artist. That goes to show you that I'm still on and will rip down stages 20 years later. And it's a trip, like her music is classic as your clothes are classic. Yeah. So how is it that we classify it as urban wear, but when I look at your urban wear, it's kind of like we're reinventing what urban wear is. So how do you feel like you're redefining the term urban wear?
I think the word urban means different things to different people.
Okay.
You know, some people hear the word urban, they think it's just a black thing or something like that. Urban is more of a lifestyle and a culture.
Okay.
And it could transcend different lifestyles within that. Like, you know, why is Karl Kani so popular in Japan is because it's the lifestyle we created here. It's translating over international market. So urban doesn't need to mean there's oversized and baggy. Urban is a fashion lifestyle. If you can see, even high-end designers like Tom Ford, you know, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, they all take inspiration from the streets.
Correct.
And implement it into their clothing line. So do we call them urban? You know, do you see Tom Ford making the jerseys with the numbers on it and stuff like that? Oversized. So they still take inspiration from the streets. So I feel like as an urban designer, we just got to take it to another level and let the clothing speak for what it is. You know what I mean? We don't have to like emphasize what we are. The clothing's going to speak to the direction that we're going at as a company.
That's a good look. I have another thing about redefining that, but right now, well, we have two callers on the line. I want to take the calls. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do that. See what's going on.
Welcome to Beauty and the Beat Radio. Who's on the line?
Hi.
Hi.
This is Claire. I just had a question for Karl Kani.
Okay.
I actually just wanted to know, like, what growing up in the East Side, in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Actually,
Brooklyn. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. But growing up with his homeboys in East Side Brooklyn, having competition, like, what was that like for him?
What was competition like?
Yes, and East Side Brooklyn's amongst you and your friends.
Yeah, I think it was good. You know what I mean? I think to help build our character by being competitive from a young age. And we started like, we was 14 years old trying to figure out how to stand out from everybody else. I think situations in life helps build your character. So I'm kind of glad we went through that process. It wasn't always easy, but at the same time it made you want to continue to go out there and work hard and make something for yourself. So I feel like it all helped us out in the long run.
Oh, that's amazing. And then I have one more question for you, Karl. What was it like just in the Jamaican area growing up that way too, in Brooklyn?
Are you from Brooklyn?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you know about that. So we did grow up.
I just visited, yeah, a lot of times.
Now, we grew up around a bunch of Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians. You know, Flatbush is like a cornerstone for a lot of immigrants when they came to the USA, so they all kind of lived in the same area. I think it was very competitive for all of us, and everybody had that certain hunger. You know, people who come from foreign countries have a certain drive and energy to make it in the USA. So I feel like that encompassed me as a self, as an individual, and it made me go out there and want to do my own clothing line and dress the world.
Oh, I agree. Well, thanks for answering my questions. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely.
And I've been a #1 fan since the 90s.
Appreciate that, love.
Okay, well, look out for that new Karl Kani.
Okay, thank you. I definitely will.
Okay.